Well, this is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. I am your lift manager, and we're going to get into what to me is the most beautiful part of the Torah, which is the Zohar. It is extremely, extremely beautiful. Let's talk here about Pinchas. We're on page Shin Ayin Hey here in the Matak Midrash, and let's read the last little paragraph. I love the way that the Matak Midrash breaks these up. Begin dawn for this reason. I want to pick up this Zohar na mi hu naki ovid. So he said, remember, now it's coming for Eov. Who is a person whose hands are really clean that will be destroyed? He says, who is that person? Bel Pinchas, the Kani al Bris that had jealousy for the Bris of Hashem. Visvashim Bay the Ihu Barat the Malchul Matrinisa, and on that Bris is implanted the fact that he is the son of the king and the queen, which is their Anpen and Malchus. Kani b'machshava. So the jealousy that he had for Hashem was in thought. V'zoch le'os yud min yud kevavke, and therefore he merited the letter yud that comes from the name yud kevavke. Yud represents chokhmah. So it's the very beginning of the manifestation of godliness. And he was jealous in the deeds that he did. He acted on this. And as a result of that, he earned another place where you could see there's a Yud goes with him, which comes from the name Adni. That is that last Yud. So from the very beginning, which Yud Ke Vav Ke is the first letter, and the Adni is the second letter. Is the last letter. From the beginning to the end, he's a Yud. And this is what he says, Chochmah wrote for Chochmah b'sof. You had this Chochmah which represented by the Yud. It's at the beginning and it's at the end. Begin to Adam Kadamo Chava Rishon B'Tavaychol, and since the first man was actually impressed on him, stamped on him from both of them. Ukmuchu Rabbanan Alei Rabbanan, the Rabbanan explained on this. The Ihu Rishon on the Machshava, he's the beginning because at the beginning he's thought. Achron the Maisa, but then the thought is translated into deeds, and he did what he did, and therefore he earned the Yud. So now, suddenly, as he was saying these words, is Kasim and who became hidden from them. Amar Rabbi Lazar then said, L'chavroy to the rest of the yeshiva, Zachol Cholokano, happy is the person, or meritorious is the portion. The Zachendach of the Mishma Milan that we merited to be able to hear words of B'nai Alma Da'asi from those inhabitants. That means the Raya Mehem, the Moshe Rabbeinu, the spirit that came down from the other than the next world into us. Now this is the Zohar that we really wanted to look at with the Matak B'Davash. And let me see if I could get this just a second. Okay, here we are. So it's on Shen Ayin Vav, it moves on. The Zohar says that Bechura Kademoa in the beginning Chabura. So he's going to explain it. Here he means Chabura. I thought he meant group, but here he means really publication. In the original publication, the Chain Emar, it says like this: that Hashem caused you to make an oath. Im chuber usaf im love. If it's something that you really want to do or not. Ema Rebbe Pinchas ben Yair. So now Rebbe Pinchas ben Yair, who we said came to this Chabura, different use of the word Chabura, into the yeshiva in a shadow. The Rebbe Abba. So he said the shadow came and struck the eyes of Rebbe Abba. So the question was asked, doesn't a Kodesh Baruch Hu know? If it was something that I guess Moshe wanted to say what? That Pinchas has l'chein emor b'moa Allah. So he said out the fact that he has earned the title of the Bris Olam. So if it's revealed to, let's say, Moshe Rabbeinu, he knows that he's meritorious. Mi galui lachrini. So then who would it be? So in other words, we're still lacking revealing it to others. Again, so that's the reason why Hashem said this to him in the form like making him swear that he would reveal it. Now, exactly what this is about, I don't know, but let's see what the Matuk Midrash says. Light print. He says, he says, Shuhu Zohar. So he means the first publication. So he Lamado, and this was on previously up above. Kimasha Amar HaKodesh Baruch Hu the Moshe. Well, HaKodesh Baruch Hu says the Moshe, the Chain Emor. Hinei Nosin Lo as Brisi Shalom. I think I said Brisi Olam, I meant Brisi Shalom. He says, again, he commands Moshe, L'chein Emor, therefore, Hinei Nosin Lo, that I'm giving him as Brisi Shalom, thy bris of peace. Hinei Milas L'chein, so he says this word L'chein, he says he lashon shavua. It's making him it's causing an oath. He said, I'm going to cause you to take an oath. That you should say out loud for everybody. Shahata nosin as Bris Shalom the Pinchas, that I am giving my Bris Shalom the Pinchas. And you're going to say this whether you want to or not. So we want to see whether or not it if it's your desire to do this or not. So he says, so this is the question. Rebbe Abba says, Rebbe Pinchas ben Yower. So he says, Emar li Rebbe Pinchas ben Yower. Rebbe Pinchas ben Yower said to me, who says this now? Rebbe Abba said that in Rebbe Abba was some people say that this is Rav, also known as Gemara as Rav. So he said, Rebbe Abba, so Rebbe Abba says, Emer Rebbe Pinchas ben Yower. Emer li Rebbe Pinchas ben Yower. Rebbe Pinchas ben Yower, who is gone, said to me, if you're agreeing with this, we're asking about like this, is that Hashem said to Moshe, this is a concept I believe he's saying here, said to Moshe, he says, I'm going to cause you to swear that you're going to announce this to the world, that Pinchas has acquired the bris of Shalom. So he says, well, there's a question is, why do you make him swear? If you agreed or not. The Rebbe Abba says, Rebbe Abba was speaking here. He had something struck his eyes. Also, he says that shadow. Remember we said that Rebbe Pinchas ben Yower came in a shadow. Whatever that means. What does it mean? In other words, what's a shadow? So you see a shadow. There's a shadow there. Nishmas Rebbe Pinchas ben Yower. The neshama Rebbe Pinchas ben Yower was clothed in the shadow. He struck that shadow, struck the eyes. I'm not sure what he means by hake, but he struck the eyes of Rebbe Abba. Why particularly the eyes? He said, I guess it means to say, look. So didn't the Kodesh Baruch Hu know whether it was something that Moshe wanted to do or not? Well, in other words, Moshe, of course, he wanted the Bris Shalom for Pinchas. I mean, does Hashem have to come along and make him swear on this? Amalek, the Rebbe Abba said back to the shadow, in lay galui mi galui lachrin. In HaKodesh Baruch Hu galui. So HaKodesh Baruch Hu sees it. Moshe Rabbeinu sees it. Mi amish galui lachrin. So we say, therefore, that other people would know about it. He says, begin door for this reason. The Kech Amal HaKodesh Baruch Hu says to him, L'chein Emor. So therefore, I'm making you say that you have to go out and say it. Sheyomer Moshe bepiv. So you should say it out loud. Sheyadol HaKol, that whole world should know. Shebaratzon Tov, that with a good, with all goodness meant. Nosa the Pinchas as Bris Shalom, that this Bris Shalom is given with all the good intent that Hashem has for someone who has done such a tremendous thing, and emphasized to us the importance of Bris and Shmiras Bris. This is Baruch Fleischman. This has been the Tikkun Elevator Call-Out.